Syracuse's next game is on Friday night against Colgate. Now, I don't want to jinx it, okay? But Colgate is an FCS opponent. I'm 99.99% confident that Syracuse football will walk away with a W after Friday night's game. And for more context behind that, Syracuse football has never lost to an FCS opponent. So in all likelihood, the Orange, after 3 weeks of this season, will be sitting at a nice record of 2-1. But their final 9 games will not be easy. 8 of those games are going to be against ACC opponents. That's to be expected. 8-game conference schedule. What's the 9th game? Out of conference? Sure. Independent? Yes. At Notre Dame. Oh boy, that's not going to be easy for Syracuse football. But as we have talked about following the UConn game, I think when you look at the rest of the ACC, making a bowl for Syracuse football is still a very realistic expectation. Now, had they lost to UConn, doesn't matter how they played, you could separate the two. Had they lost to UConn, I'd be sitting here saying, guys, I don't think Syracuse football is making a bowl. You can't beat UConn at home. You look that bad against UConn at home. No disrespect to UConn, but you're not a bowl team. Having said that, they did beat UConn, which is the positive. And now you look at the rest of the schedule, and let's be honest about the ACC so far. Is it really all that good? I don't know. I don't know if it's really all that good so far this year. I think there are a few really good teams in the ACC, one of which Syracuse is not going to play this year, which I can't believe I'm saying, is Florida State. I am glad that Florida State is not on Syracuse's schedule in 2025. That team, I said it on last week's ACC squad, after I saw them demolish Alabama, I think that team might make the college football playoff. And I can't believe I'm saying that. But regardless, let's talk about Syracuse's schedule for a moment. Just go down the line. You got Colgate on Friday night. That's a win. So you're 2-1. At Clemson. This game is going to be tough at Clemson. I don't want to sit here and underestimate the Clemson Tigers. Having said that, through 2 games, doesn't matter if their opponent is LSU, their opponent could be Troy. Their offense has looked pretty shaky through 2 games. We'll see how they look in week 3, and we'll see how they do against Syracuse in week 4. But their offense has been shaky, to say the least. Is it impossible that Syracuse can go into Clemson and win? I don't think it's as daunting as I think many of us thought heading into the year. Still going to be tough, though, against the Clemson Tigers. Then you got Duke at home, who have not exactly been world beaters. I've been pretty disappointed with Duke through 2 games this year. They did not look good in their first game. In their second game against Illinois at home, that was a big one for Duke to kind of say, hey, we're going to have a really good year. Illinois is a good team, but we're at home and we're going to beat them. That did not exactly happen to Duke. So Duke, I do think, is a pretty good opponent for Syracuse football. Definitely think that's a coin flip game, but it's a coin flip game and you're at home. Find a way to win that one. At SMU, I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but they just blew a 14-point fourth quarter lead against Baylor and lost. See, this is why I am not in the business of throwing away victories, even if the team does not perform. Could you imagine had Syracuse actually lost to UConn? Well, think about it this way. SMU just lost to Baylor. Now, is it the end of the world? No. But if SMU this year finishes 9-3, they don't get to play in the ACC title game because they lose 2 conference games, and 9-3 for them will not be good enough to make the college football playoff. They're going to be kicking themselves because they lost that game to Baylor. So it could be bad. Take the win when you can get it. Pitt at home. Now, Pitt, never easy for Syracuse football. They seem to always lose to the Pitt Panthers. And Pitt, though, they're 2-0, which is good, but they haven't played anyone. So I'm not going to sit here and judge Pitt yet. They've played nobody through 2 games. At Georgia Tech, I'll be honest, it's a bad matchup for Syracuse football and their rushing attack. I call them Tennessee light. that's on the road. That's not going to be easy. North Carolina at home after that, we'll see, but they are not off to a good start, the Tar Heels. At Miami, unless Miami folds, that's probably a loss. Then you got at Notre Dame after a bye. Unless Notre Dame has a stinker, that's probably a loss. And then you have Boston College to round out the regular season at home, which is beatable. So the schedule, now you look at it, does it look as daunting as we thought heading into 2025? Probably not. If we're being honest, it's not like the ACC has performed amazing to start the year. So am I going to sit here and say, oh, well, if you look at their schedule, Syracuse is bound to win 9 games again? No. That's not what I'm saying. I think Syracuse football, though, making a bowl is still a requirement for this team to be a successful season. It's not just an expectation. Successful year, after Colgate, find a way to win 4 more games.